All right, I think we are live now. We're gonna go ahead and try this live stream on Facebook again. You know, I don't know how it's gonna work, but it's worth another shot because my other method is being a little wonky right now. At any rate, if you know, if this live stream ends up being just complete shit, then just check my timeline. This is being recorded on my on an external card, so I will you know, I'll just put the recorded version on my timeline. With that said, we are in Overland Park at about 103rd and Quivira-ish, or maybe 103rd and Metcalf. At any rate, this is the March for Darrien, Rally and March. If you don't know, a couple weeks ago, one of the protesters for the Black Lives Matter protest, there was one in Overland Park, and long story short, a woman was arrested and her husband, you know, pretty much went up to her while she was getting arrested, and he was arrested also, and they pressed charges. This march is for the Overland Park police to essentially drop those charges. Now, there's a little bit of controversy around this protest in the sense that the organizers claiming that he was, that Darrien was unjustifiably arrested, that he did nothing wrong, that he was just trying to console his wife who was in handcuffs. Other people say that, well, no, he, you know, he rushed the police officers aggressively, and that's going to get you arrested. So, I mean, at the end of the day, the Overland Park Police Department did release the body cam footage, so I'm not going to opine on that. When I get home, I will put a link in the comments section to that body cam footage, and I'll just let you guys decide on your own whether or not you think he was arrested justifiably or not. With that said, this is partly what this march is about, and so whether or not you agree or disagree with the arrest, irrelevant right now, because this march is for them to drop the charges. So with that said, it's about to start, so let's go.
come up here and explain to you why someone deserves to live? You know? Because I don't care if he worked at a gas station. Brother Darrien should not have been treated the way he was treated that night. No. He doesn't, by the way. He's really intelligent. He does a lot of really cool stuff. I just want to say, I hope that through hearing all of the speakers tonight, you can really connect with the overall message and understand that, you know, it could easily be one of us out here. Easily. What we saw is that nobody is safe from that. When one of us is in chains, I didn't hear you. When one of us is in chains, exactly. Until all of these chains are broken, we are going to continue to come out here and fight for all of our brothers and sisters. And I promise you, I have a court date coming up too. I was actually on the other side of the paddy wagon with Mr. Darrien. But I promise you, I'll be in that room. And I'm not going to shut up, even if that means I got to start screaming from behind first, because I get convicted. I am never going to stop speaking out against these injustices, because it's not going to stop with Darrien if we don't do something right now. And I don't know about you, but I don't plan on visiting Darrien in jail. I don't. It's not going to happen. I just want everyone, if you can go to the Miller Dream LLC or the White Rose page. I'm actually a member in leadership with White Rose KC. All of us organizations out here have posted links to the petition. We're trying to get signatures so that we can get this, honestly, get these charges dropped entirely, because they were completely wrong. He did nothing wrong. I just want you to know that. I want to get up here and tell you what really happened and let me explain the story, but at the end of the day, he did nothing wrong, so there's nothing to explain. So if you're about justice, I hope your name is already on that petition. If it's not, you can pull out your phones and go to the link right now and sign it. Please share it. Please get your friends and family to share it, because we have power in numbers, and the only way we're going to get through this is if we stick together. So I appreciate you guys being out here. Okay, I've used up enough time for right now. I want to bring out, we're going to be reading the petition guidelines out here. Yeah, so I'm going to bring Mel from White Rose KC to come read that for you guys. Thank you.
Hi guys, so this is what's written on the petition, and it just kind of describes the story, and I figured everyone here should know what that is. Sorry. To the Honorable Stephen M. Howe. On July 24th, 2020, Darrien Richmond was participating in a peaceful BLM protest with his wife Marissa in Overland Park, Kansas. During the protest, Overland Park officers arrived and began asking protesters to move from the street. Darrien and his wife moved quickly to place several children who were attending the protest into the car for safety. As they were trying to buckle the children into their seats, body cam footage shows the officers repeatedly stopping the couple from this action and demanding they leave the street, even as Darrien and Marissa try to explain they were concerned about the children's safety. Instead of listening to Darrien and showing understanding and concern for the children, the officers repeatedly interrupted the process, demanding the couple to move, which further delayed Darrien and Marissa's ability to comply. The officers, obviously frustrated by the lack of immediate compliance and showing no empathy towards ensuring the safety of the children, decided to take the couple into custody. They were overly forceful with Marissa, causing a woman half their size pain as they restrained her. Marissa, frightened in pain, cried out for assistance from Darrien. Seeing his wife in distress, he came to defend and comfort his terrified wife. He did not strike any officers. The only injury during the scuffle was a skinned knee as the officers tried to keep Darrien from getting close to his wife. The officer was not removed from normal duty, and no physical therapy has been requested or ordered. It is obvious Darrien's intent was not to attack officers, but to comfort and defend his wife, the love of his life. Darrien is not a dangerous man. He is a loving son, a responsible brother, a proud college graduate, earning a scholarship to Georgia Institute of Technology and achieving a 4.0 GPA and a bachelor's degree in computer science.
Still had to finish school. And I probably asked this man at least twice a day when he was going to propose to me, starting the second he got back, too. I wasn't playing. In fact, I was so persistent that he had to take me out on multiple dates to fancy restaurants just so he could even attempt to surprise me. To put it in perspective, Darrien proposed to me on September 3rd, 2016, and we were married by November 19th of the same year. Yeah. The day I married Darrien was the happiest day of my life. July 24th, 2020, on the other hand, was probably the worst. Darrien and I left the house that night expecting another peaceful march in Overland Park. And let me tell you, what happened that night was absolutely terrifying. Police were on the streets with riot gear within just 5 minutes of the moment the first foot hit the sidewalk. When it became clear that we were grossly outnumbered, Darrien and I formed a shield to help a woman and her children get into a car to move to safety. We explained to the officers that we would get to the sidewalk as soon as the children and their mother were safely inside of the car. However, that wasn't fast enough for the Overland Park Police Department, because as we were getting onto the sidewalk, I felt myself being ripped back into the street. I was thrown into a police car, snatched up and flung across the hood. 4 officers surrounded me and began pulling my arms so far behind my back that pain shot through them. I started to have a panic attack. Full disclosure, and without going into too many details, I'm a survivor of sexual assault. So to be in that kind of situation, a situation where I had no control over my body or what happened to it, it took me right back to that feeling many women know all too well. That's what Darrien saw in my eyes as I started to cry. That's what he heard in my voice when I called out for him. Yes. It is that primal fear that drove him to run to my side.
He loves you!
But that's all it took. Less than 3 seconds for the Overland Park Police Department to reduce an upstanding black man, a Georgia Tech graduate, a software engineer, to a potential felon.
Yep.
That's
what they do.
It ain't right.
It ain't right.
That's the country we live in.
Yep.
A country where a white man who is caught in the act of raping an unconscious woman behind a dumpster is given 6 months, but a black boy whose only crime is shoplifting a pair of sneakers is given 15 years.
Yep.
A country where a white gunman who shoots up a church is taken in peacefully, but a black man is violently murdered over a suspected counterfeit $20 bill.
Yep.
A country where a white child dies and the offender is detained in less than 24 hours, but a black woman who was shot in her sleep is still awaiting justice. That ain't right.
That ain't right!
For weeks now, I've done my best to bite my tongue, both in public and on social media. But I am sick and tired of pandering to this country's white fragility. I'm sorry, but America doesn't get to continue dredging up these tired old tropes about black men as absent fathers, black men as deadbeat husbands, black men as felons. Not anymore. What happened to Darrien is irrefutable proof that it doesn't matter how a black man looks. It doesn't matter how he acts. It doesn't matter how hard he works. Black men are targeted in this country for no crime other than the color of their skin.
Yes.
America is terrified of black men. And why is that? Because this country doesn't just profit, it thrives off of racial division. It has spent decades pushing black men down to protect the fragile power of those at the top. Because they know black men are strong. Black men are providers. Black men are enduring. Black men are fathers, brothers, sons, husbands. Black men are important. Thank you very much.
Yes, Lord.
Yes, Marissa!
She's so powerful, man. That's wild. All right. So I am under no guise that these earrings and that weave in my hair gives me some privilege sometimes when it comes to police interactions. And that the day those are off, well, it's a different story. That being said, though, I do not understand the exact struggles of what it's like being a black man in this country. I can't imagine it, but there is somebody who very well can, and I'd like to introduce him now, Mr. John, if you would like to come up and teach us about men versus the system in this country. Come on up.
Preach, brother, preach.
You know, we all came out here today not only because Black Lives Matter, but because the injustice we seen happen to Darrien.
Yep.
You know, for me, as a black man in America, to see what Johnson County, the Overland Park, trumped up charges against him and put a felony on his record, it hit so close to home with me. You know why? Because back in 2009, it happened to me. I had a clean record, never been in trouble. But I was charged with 3 felonies, and convicted, and sentenced to 11 years and 10 months in the Kansas Department of Correction. Knowing I didn't actually do the crime that happened, I could just see the hardness it takes for any black man to try to come back from this. I've been home now about 11 months. Been working constantly to try to find my way back into society. Try to find my way to be productive, to show them that I'm not this animal, this person that they paid me out to be over 10 years ago.
Damn straight, brother. Damn straight.
Now, if I gotta stand up and start to speak this truth for my brothers or anybody that was born with the color of our skin, it's not by choice. It wasn't my choice to be born this color. When my skin this complexion. God has blessed me with this. I say it's a blessing.
I wouldn't trade it for the world.
But on that night of the 24th, man, just watching it, it boiled up so much in me. Not of hate, none of that. But just in the injustice. Seeing how the police do things. See how, because what I saw them do to Stacy, Marissa, Darrien, and Cartier. Yar, my bad. What I seen happen that night is the same thing that happened inside the prison systems. Inside the prison, if they don't get their way, they're gonna do the same thing.
Oh, God. Wow. Wow. Hey.
In order to.
This is why they don't have a rally for me.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, my God. Let me just back up.
But to see it happen in the prison system, I'm like, man, when is this stuff gonna change?
Yeah.
When is it? I'm tired of being a black man, keep getting oppressed for not doing anything. And when I see a brother that is and have worked their whole life to strive and do better, it's not right to put no felony charge on them.
Damn straight, not Darrien.
That stuff ain't right at all.
Nah, he's too clean cut.
I'm still fighting to get mine off, but I got a lot of work to do. I ain't worried about it. I'll take mine as a strike and to keep forwarding this movement.
Right on, brother.
And I want everybody to know, when we talk about black lives, it got nothing to do with sexuality. It got nothing to do with all this political things out here. When we talk about black lives, we talking about the substance that we was born with. We talking that we are important as a person. Nothing this political stuff that has put out here. And now they want to label us as terrorists.
Radical.
They're afraid of us. Why y'all afraid of us? Let me tell you what a terror is. Someone who terrorizes the masses. But I'm going to tell you something about me. When I'm driving in my car and that police get behind me, I'm going to tell you how my heart start beating.
I feel terrible.
I'm going to tell you how I'm nervous. I'm going to tell you how I'm ready to get my phone out and text my kids and say, I love y'all, nothing happened to me. And who come to my door? Who want to come to the door?
The overseer.
The police. They the one who terrified me, so who the real terrorists?
Right.
None of us should feel like the police is the terrorists in our lives. None of us. Including Darrien or anybody else, the hundreds and millions of other people of color in our nation and around the world, to be honest.
Really?
Because it just don't start here, it's everywhere. It's been like this. We've been fighting for just a seat at the table so we can speak on our own behalf. Not have nobody else speak for us, but to speak for ourselves. When can we speak for ourselves and quit having other people try to speak for us? If you never walked in my footsteps, You can't come up here and say, this is what Black Lives is. If you haven't been through this process, don't tell me you know what Black Lives is, y'all. And we need more so-called black people to come out here, because this is our movement. This is us to let them know that our lives do matter. And I'm going to keep it going, y'all. I am. It hurts once I start doing my research, because I had to get in the books. Because I wouldn't have known a lot of this stuff. I wouldn't have known the legality of it all. Knowing that they legally could do this to us. Not knowing that it's in law. Well before the Jim Crow. Well before the Dred Scott case. Well before all this. When we was put all the way down to 3/5 as a human being.
Yes,
of a person.
Yes, sir.
If that ain't right, y'all, what is the other 2/5 that make us a person? What was taken from us that degraded us so low to the scums of the earth? Now, when we finally trying to get something to make us live, come up, and understand that, you know what, I'm better than what has put out here in our communities. I'm better than these gang violence. I'm better than all these selling dope and selling drugs out here. I'm better than that. But guess what? I still got to go to somebody else to empower me. I can't even empower myself. I still got to go to my oppressor and ask for a job. Please give me this. When are y'all really going to help us? And what was happening to Darrien, I don't want to take this away from Darrien. This is a brother that strived his whole life for his reputation.
Yes, sir.
And when I look at him, I see the better me.
Yes, sir. For real.
And this is why I'm behind him. And this is why I'm here. I'm telling y'all, my heart cries out. It cries out because I've seen all this pain. I've seen the mothers. I seen them cry. My stepmother was shot. My stepbrother was shot by the police and killed while I was locked up. So guess what? I understand this. I understand the injustice on all levels. But we gotta quit saying we understand somebody without actually getting in their shoes or something. Quit trying to say, this is what this is, y'all. They just doing this, they could do better. Guess what? We knew better, we'd do better. We only doing what was put in front of us. Y'all want to keep funding the police? When I say defund the police, y'all, I want to defund them, but not just say there is no officer, because guess what? We need it. It's good to have protection.
Yeah, there's got to be community control.
But what I'm saying is, let's call them when we need y'all.
Yes.
When we pick up our phones and we be counting 911, now we need you to come to our assistance.
Right.
And we do not dial the number. We don't need y'all patrolling our streets, y'all.
We don't.
This is not that time no more. We understand it. We can start governing our own.
Yes.
We need to start being more of a community.
Yes.
Start being more of reaching out to our neighbors. Just say, hey, neighbor, how you doing? What y'all got something to eat tonight? So no, we ain't here to fight y'all. We ain't never been to be oppression on y'all. Not at all. We are here to show love at the most genuine level. The one who can get spit on, slapped, and beat, lied on, and killed, and still say, I love you, my brother. Where do we find that type of love at nowadays? Without judging about nothing they do or what they look like. I try my best for everybody I come in contact with to show love. Not to say, this person is, they believe in that. No, I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, I don't care what you are. If you got love, I'm with you. When you try to put up hate, I'm not with that, y'all. I'm not with hate. I'm not with any of that. But this is a time for action, not only for us to come against the Overland Park, but for us as a nation to finally come together to demand change for all of us. Because guess what? Each and every one of us, we don't know their story. I don't know my brothers and sisters, brown people of color, what they going through. I don't even know some of my white brothers and sisters, what they going through. So for me to say they wrong, I can't even say that because I don't even know what they going through at home. Until we start to reach out and really do social interaction and understand and get to the source of this problem, we will always look at somebody like we better than them, when none of us is better than nobody. When I see everybody out here, it brings joy, because guess what? It's people of every nationalities and backgrounds. And I love that. And that's what it should be like. But black lives do matter, y'all. And there's been a misconstrued of what Black Lives Matter is within the church and everything. I hate to bring religion in there. A lot of the church, where y'all at? Where y'all at? How many times I've been down on my knees asking God, where are you at? How many times have I been to my church praising Jesus, praising God, praising all of it? Where you at? Where y'all at? We out here saying we want y'all. But this, once again, is for Darrien. I love you, brother. Keep your head up. We here for you.
Let me just make y'all want to stand in front of the police. All right. So the next speaker I'm going to be introducing is Mr. Ray from Black Rainbow is going to share some words with us. If you want to come on over and talk to us, tell us what's going on.
When I say Ashe, I need everybody to say power. Ashe! 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 I need everybody to say, I am a revolutionary. 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 So I can't express how incredibly important this moment is that we are in right now. I didn't write too many words for tonight. I'm gonna keep this pretty short. But this is a moment of reckoning for the city of Overland Park and its viciously white supremacist history and culture. The reason we gather here today is because that violent ideology has once again manifested itself, resulting in the kidnapping, the brutalization, the psychic violence that has been imposed on our brother Darrien. Not only did they abuse our brother in all these ways, now they're lying on him. We know the police lie. In fact, as a black man, I've come to expect for the police to lie far more than I expect for them to tell the truth. We can never forget that the condition of truth is allowing suffering to speak. The condition of truth is allowing suffering to speak. And so until all people, until black people are allowed to speak our truth, for our suffering to be reported on the way that it needs to be reported on, then this racist system will never be resolved. As a people, we have to be heard and acknowledged. Our demands need to be acted on in order for this city, this state, and for the country to rid itself of the poisonous, toxic, psychological, sociological cancer that is white supremacist terrorism. The police are white supremacist terrorists, as my brother just said. It's a white supremacist terroristic system that we have to get rid of. We have to defund it. Something that me and my sister, Stacy, talk about as well is that the police are a weaponized, militaristic enforcement arm of the white supremacist state. I'm gonna say that one more time. The police are the weaponized, militaristic enforcement arm of the white supremacist state. But we will never be intimidated by them. Are y'all afraid of the police? No. Are y'all afraid of the police? No. Are y'all afraid of the police? No. I just wanted to make sure. I just wanted to make sure. Tonight we fight for Darrien, A beautiful and courageous black soul who put his life on the line, his body on the line for our people. Darrien is a hero. And tonight we're going to put our bodies on the line to let him know that his sacrifice was not in vain. All of Darrien's charges must be dropped.
All of them.
All of Darrien's charges must be dropped. We want real justice. Defund the police. I need y'all a little bit louder on that one. Defund the police. Defund the police. Defunding the police is the only way that we can ensure that a tragedy like this never happens again. We can't keep giving money to the police for body cams. We can't keep giving money to the police for more training. The police have existed for 100 years, over 100 years. They started off with slave patrol. That's why they have no problem brutalizing a black brother, treating him like an animal, and then lying on him. We can't expect justice from a system that is willing to do that. We can never expect justice from a system that originated from slave patrol, that originated from the exploitation and brutalization of black bodies, that is more concerned with property and police than it is the livelihood of black people. So I only have a couple more words that I want to say. As I said at the beginning, this is a moment of crisis that we are in. This is a monumental moment. We've been at this for an entire summer now. Yeah. For some people, this is your first protest. For some people, this summer was the first time that they've ever been awakened to anti-racism, awakened to the resistance, and we can't stop now. So I appreciate everybody that came out here, that's willing to put your bodies and lives on the line, because this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. We got to let Darrien know that this is just the beginning. We're going to let our community know that this is just the beginning. That's all I got to say. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody that organized this, and thank you all.
Ooh, every time you say ashe, I feel it, you know? All right. Okay, so the next part, y'all already know who's coming up here. I don't even know if you have been watching live streams, if you have even heard of a protest, then you are familiar with our next speaker. She is a revolutionary. Okay. That's plain and simple. And she has been so kind as to teach us discipline and to guide us through these difficult times, personally and legally. And I am so grateful to call her a comrade. Miss Stacy Shaw! Peace and blessings upon you. I'm going to say just a few words, but today we have an opportunity that we have not had at a Black Lives Matter protest in the Jackson County, Johnson County, Wyandotte County, Douglas County, at any protest. This is my 33rd one. I have never seen or heard this voice before. Many people don't know that the Black Lives Matter movement in itself is revolutionary because it centers the voices of the most jeopardized, marginalized, discounted among us. And so there was a courageous person that came up to me, and they introduced themselves as Andy. And Andy, whose pronouns are they, them, because they had the courage to come up to me and say, I'm one of your clients. I am different. I go by Mix. And I had never heard of the proper greeting or the honorary title of MX before. And I said, because I have pledged myself to change
change to revolutionizing not only the way that I think, but the way that I act, the way that I show up for people who are different than I am, who have different lived experiences. Because you educated me today, you are changing my entire system at my law firm. So if you call in, if you call my law firm and you say, I want to be a client, someone should ask you, what are your pronouns? One voice, one person can change the destiny of America. I was talking to some women in a focus group, and they said, Stacy, you should not put it all on the line, because if you lose your law license, you may lose your credibility, you may lose your voice, and the same people that were marching behind you, you will become a footnote. And I told them, you do not understand what makes me powerful. Because if a law license made me powerful in this movement, then it would negate the power that is in each and every single one of you that shows up to these direct actions. If I got up here and said that the only reason why I have a voice is because I have a law license in 2 states, that would mean that you could not use your individual power to change the destiny of America. And that would be a lie. Because I've heard people on social media, I've heard people out in the streets saying that you have to have a certain certification, that you have to have a certain level of training, that you've got to be a certain somebody, that you had to resist for a certain amount of time, that you had to read the right books, that you had to know the right people, but they do not know what power each of us have today. Because you do not need to be certified to be a revolutionary. Yes. You don't need a certification to be an activist. No one asked you for a resume when you show up. No one asked you for a cool kid card. No one says that you have to wear certain clothes or certain shoes, that you got to work in a certain sector, that you got to look a certain way, that you got to love a certain person, that you got to have a certain career, a certain educational credential. Nobody asks you nothing when you show up, but are you ready to put it on the line? And so many of you are my heroes. I have mentors that are over 10 years younger than me. I have heroes that are 8 years old. I have heroes who are 19 years old that can stay in custody without breaking for 20 hours without being afforded a phone call. And when they come out, the first thing that they said was, they could not break me. We are the future that America has been praying for. We are the change that America has been waiting for. We are the promise that our ancestors died for. Our names are stories. They will be remembered when people look back and say, what happened in 2020 when a group of people stood up when it was not popular, when it was dangerous, when people called them radical, when people called them terrorists. Our stories will be in history. will be the first voice, the first black trans voice that we have heard in this movement in Kansas City. Nick Sandy? Did I say it right? Okay. Come on. And so it is my deep privilege and honor to yield the rest of my time to you, because your voice is the voice that we've been waiting for. Your voice is the voice of this movement. Your voice is the reason why we are out in the heat, why we are risking arrest, why we are risking injury. It's for your voice.
Hello. I'm not going to use this platform to speak for all trans people, but if you can agree and relate, we can relate. It's really scary to come out to all these and present however I want to present and let the world see me and my truth and me and my friends and my truth. And it's scary to know if when I get here, someone's not going to like that and want to hurt one of us. I don't know if y'all know that last year, Breonna BB Hill was beaten by officers in Star Beauty, outside of Star Beauty, and that ain't right.
That ain't right.
And later on, she ended up dead because someone else actually took her life. So things like that are the reasons that a lot of people don't want to come out, and I really wish that I could see more queer black people out here. But until we have a guarantee that the same wall that goes around protesters at protests is going to go around them when they're in their day-to-day life, are we really going to leave? It's not safe. And along with that, I would like to address the amount of cis black men that murder trans women every day. And it doesn't derail from the movement at all. It doesn't say that black men are bad. It just says that that's something that we have to work on within our community. Yes. Because it's been too many years. It's been way too many years. I think that the same things that we're doing for bail support, we need to be doing with name changes. It's really scary to get arrested as a queer person. I was arrested down at the plaza. I don't go by my birth name. When I was going out, I'd write my birth name on my body just in case I was found. That doesn't add up. It's not right. The amount of trans women that are put in men's prisons is not right. We need to work on getting their, I can't even say getting their gender markers changed, because honestly, we need to work on just getting gender markers off of IDs completely, because it's scary for anyone to know. So, name-changing clinics would be really helpful, because it's a hard process for everyone. And we need more protection. And that's really all I have to say.
Okay, so at every single protest, you have started seeing, and if anybody is going live, this is part of the training that we're undergoing, because a lot of people don't realize they're in a resistance. This isn't just a protest. There are many ways of resisting. And to be in resistance long term, we've got to be disciplined. Okay? We have to be trained. And some people are asking, you know what, are we going to make this public? But when you come to a protest, we do training on the ground. Okay? So there are going to be flag bearers, 2 flag bearers. I've got one of my flag bearers right here. Come on. Okay, so we're going to go over hand signals. Now these hand signals are going to be used for marches. They are going to be used every time you go to a protest. Every time you go to a march, any resistance movement, you will have the same hand signals. So it's very important to learn them. They will always mean the same thing. So the first thing that I'm going to go over with you is stop. Okay? Stop is like you're knocking on a door. Okay? It's not Black Power. It is knocking on the door. Nope, knocking on the door with the little sausage right here. Yes, turn to the side. Banging on the door, banging on the door. Okay, this is stop. Everybody hold their hands up. Say stop. Stop. Nope. Okay, this is wrong. This is wrong. This is very important that it's to the side, because this is how we get separated. We're going to be tight, especially tonight. We're going to be tight. So stop. Stop. Bang on the door. Bang on the door. Okay, bang on the door sideways. If you see somebody not doing it correctly, gently correct them. Okay, this is stop. Stop. Right here. Okay, fits to the side. Wall. We have our courageous wall of moms. This is a W. Wall of moms. Wall of moms reports when we have police lined up against us. Okay? And so if you see the W, Wall of Moms, report to the front where you see the police lined up. You'll know who they are because they have on riot gear. Okay, so W, Wall of Moms. Okay, we also have official witnesses. Official witnesses are not a part of the protest. They are wearing the bright neon green vests. They are not a part of the protest. Only speak to them if you are getting arrested and give them your name and date of birth. They are working under the supervision of Attorney Jordan Bear. Jordan Bear, please raise your hand. Okay, Jordan Bear from Liberty Lawyers KC. Yes, Liberty Lawyers KC is a new organization that Jordan helped co-found with me and a lot of other courageous lawyers. Every single protest or action will be with a supervised attorney. And so they may be here or they may be on call, but their names will be announced. If you get arrested, who do you want to speak to immediately? Okay, you want to speak to Jordan Bear. Say his name. Jordan Bear. Say his name. Jordan Bear. Jordan Bear. Say his name. Jordan Bear. Say his name. Jordan Bear. Say his name. Jordan Bear. This is important. To activate your Sixth Amendment right to counsel, you have to ask for your lawyer. And the police don't want to give you a lawyer. So you have to ask for him by name because he's going to be calling for you. Okay? So if you get arrested, who do you call? Jordan Bear. Who do you want? Jordan Bear. Okay, you want your lawyer. I'm not talking to you. I want my lawyer right now. You are guaranteed an attorney. If you are under a 24-hour investigation, you are guaranteed an attorney, and we are going to be looking for you. Okay? Super important. So Jordan Bear is the attorney on call. Every time we have the Wall of Moms, we have this W. What does this mean? Wall of Moms. Wall. Because we're going to have additional walls. There may be a wall of veterans, wall of moms, wall of dads, wall of whoever we can get. But when you see this W, the wall goes up, okay? And every time there's a wall, there's a witness. So the official witnesses will be reporting to the wall, okay? Now, last thing I'm going to teach you. I'm going to teach you two more things, actually. This is slow down. It goes 90 degrees, 45 degrees, or 180. This is slow down, okay? It's going to be important that we all stick together. We're going to be marching on the sidewalk at first, okay? But slow down. When you see this, slow down. I want everybody to do it with me. Slow down, okay? Because that's going to mean the people in front need to slow down to allow the people in the back to catch up with them. Okay, so we're going to go over this again. Say it out, say it out, it's important. Okay, stop, stop, stop. This is important. Whatever you're doing, stop right then. Okay? What does this mean? Wall. Okay, wall, wall, very good, wall. All right, what does this mean? Okay, I want everybody to get some muscle memory with me. This is very important. This is Every time we go out in the streets, it is not 100% safe. Okay, so we need to be disciplined. It's very important. Okay, everybody do this with me. What does this mean? Okay, what does this mean? What does this mean? Okay, good, good. That does not mean stop. Good job. Okay, what does this mean? Okay, what does this mean? Okay, very good. Make sure it's not 3 like this. It is very spread out as much as you can to make a W. Okay, now there's one other command that I'm going to teach you. And it's here. This is eyes. Look at me. Look at me. This is eyes. This means that what I am telling you, what somebody is telling you, is very important and you need to pay attention. Eyes. What does this mean? Look at me. Look at me right here. So if I'm going to come up to you and I say this, I need you to stop talking. I need you to immediately listen to what I have to say. That's why I'm going to do eyes, okay? And so this is only if it's super important. I'm going to do this. Look at me. Look at me. Okay. Now, you may see, look at this. Shout out to Gloria. Shout out to Gloria that helped me make these. Okay, and so we're not going to be relying on just verbal commands anymore. All right, so if you've been at previous protests, and these are going to be the same meaning every time you go to an action in Kansas or Missouri, okay? And so red means stop. When you see this, what are you going to do? Stop. Exactly, just in case you didn't see the fist. The next one is blue. What does this mean? This is wall. Okay. So wall. That means that we've already put up this W. Our color guards are going to do blue. Blue is wall. What is blue? Wall. What is red? Stop. Okay. 2 more colors. Yellow. It's slow down. Okay? Slow down, slow down, slow down. Okay, so if you see yellow, what does that mean? Slow down. Okay, last color. And this is going to be important. Okay? White means that we've changed to tactical. Okay? And this is very important. If you are here, I've been arrested twice, I've been maced twice, I've been tear gassed. The police are dangerous people. Okay? And so when you see white, we're not going to go over tactical commands today, but when you see white, the meaning of the flags change, okay? We're not going to occupy, we're not going to hold a line today, but but every time you all come to a protest, we are going to train you exactly what you need to do. And so when you see white, okay, what does white mean? We've switched to tactical. Okay, so if it's white, that means we switch to tactical. If you are an at-risk person, okay, if you're a medic, the official witnesses should already be in position by the time they see the white flag. But if you are a person that has 0 ability to go to jail, that means you immediately get on the sidewalk. That means that you immediately start going to your car in groups of at least 3. Groups of at least 3. Groups of at least 3. That is very important. When you see the white flag, you get on the sidewalk immediately. All right? And so there's one last thing. Chants mean something. Okay? We're going to practice one chant. You guys know it. Hands up.
Don't shoot.
Hands up.
Don't shoot.
Hands up.
Don't shoot.
Hands up.
Don't shoot.
Now when we do this chant, 100% of us need to have our hands up. Okay? You cannot have your hands down. If someone starts that chant leaders know we do not start that chant for no reason. We only start that chant if there is police presence to show that we are unarmed. Okay? That is very important. We're going to practice that. And as soon as the chant changes, put your hands down. Okay? Hands up.
Don't shoot.
Hands up.
Don't shoot.
Hands up.
Don't shoot.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Okay, as soon as it changes, put your hands down immediately. Okay? We're going to try that one more time. Hands up.
Don't shoot.
Hands up.
Don't shoot.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Good job. You guys did such a wonderful job. We're going to practice the colors one more time. Show me red. What does that mean? What does red mean?
Stop.
Okay. What does yellow mean?
Slow down.
Slow down. Okay, what does blue mean?
Wall.
Wow, very good. What does white mean?
Tactical.
Tactical. Okay, so once we go to tactical, that's going to be another set of commands, but I don't want to overwhelm you today. Every single time you come to protest, you will hear political education. Leaders and speakers are very well studied. Most of what people do is read. We constantly read and study, so that when we come into what we call the pulpit, we are giving you education. We are advancing your understanding of why we are out here. Okay, so now, last thing. Every single protest, you will have political education. You will have tactical training. You all just went through tactical training. Who feels like a soldier? Oh, no, hell no. Hell no. Okay, let me try that again. Who feels like a warrior? Okay, I'm going to take it. Y'all tired. Okay, so you know what? Okay, so last thing, we have demands. We have demands on every live stream. We have demands on how people can get involved. So we're going to go over those because we're not out here just sweating for no reason. Do we have the full demands? Could you come and we can read the demands? Rachel? Okay, yes. So we have 4 demands. First demand is we want transparency and accountability to be put on the docket at the city council meeting. Okay? And I'm turning my back to you just so I'm not advertising who y'all are, even though you're fabulous. And that's another thing, as I'm doing this, we need to make sure that we have, is anyone on my live? Can someone go on my live for me? Okay. And so the first one is we want transparency and accountability put on the city council agenda. The second one, release the names of the officers that were involved in the July 24th arrest in Overland Park. And number 3, our final demand is that they implement an ordinance requiring officers to identify themselves at all times when interacting with the public. Okay? So 3 demands. 1, place transparency and accountability on the city council agenda. Number 2, implement an ordinance requiring officers number 2 is identify the officers who were at the July 24th protest. Number 3, implement an ordinance requiring officers to identify themselves at all times when interacting with the public. That is why we are here today. We will march and we will continue resisting until those demands are met. All power to the people! 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 Many people don't know that the definition of democracy is a form of government where supreme power is vested in the people. Supreme power in democratic America is vested in the people. It's not vested in the mayor. It's not vested in the police. It's not vested in the governor. It's not vested in the president. The power is vested in the people. Power to the people. Power to the people. Okay, we're gonna get this march started. Who's a marshal?
So I just want to thank you all for attending the rally. Let's remember that this rally was for justice for Darrien. We want to continue to demand for fair justice for Darrien as he does not deserve a felony charge. And remember to continue to reach out to your city officials, sending emails to the district attorney Steve Howe, demanding that the charges on Darrien Richmond be dropped. we're going to go ahead and gather towards this direction so that we can go on for our march. And follow me.
Hill.
One last, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, one last thing. We just want to explain the streaming.
Okay, so the Coalition of Organizers in Kansas City has put together an official live stream on Twitch. We have determined that that is the safest way to live stream. Anyone who is live streaming from this Twitch is not an official member of the media. They are just there to record, especially if anything goes south. So they will also be showing up, and tonight it's me, but other nights it might be someone else. Just look out for them. They will be reporting with the Wall of Homes and official witnesses to record anything that happens tonight, any interactions with police and protesters. If you would like to share it, which please do, because we want a lot of eyes on this live stream, it's on Twitch at KC_protests with an S at the end. Again, that's KC_protests, PROTEST. I think I spelled it wrong. S, yeah, something like that. But yeah, also if you are live streaming, please, yeah, here.
Capital KC.
Oh, it is, I don't know, I don't think the capital matters.
Oh, okay.
But if you are live streaming tonight, please do your best to not get protester faces in your video. The only time it would be appropriate to put someone's face in a video is if they get up here to speak or if they are a police officer. So just make sure that if you do see something happening, make sure that it gets on camera. And again, we please encourage you to go on Twitch and share that live stream to Facebook, share it to Instagram, share it to every social media platform you got. KC_protests with an S. Thank you.
Thanks, Jay. Thanks, Jay. I love them. Protest.
I got you.
I heard you. You said protest
With an S, yeah.
All right, we're ready to go and march. Justice for
Darrien!
Justice for
Darrien! Darrien! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter!
The Overland Park Police Department has made a brochure for us. Okay? Okay, so I need 2 color guards whose only job is to hold the flag. The only job is to hold the flag. Can I have 2 color guards? One. It's gonna be important. This is an important. Okay. So they've given us, and so this is for informational purposes, okay? So they have given us a list of ordinances by which, if you violate those ordinances, I'm an educator, not an instructor. One is disorderly conduct, engaging in brawling or fighting, which I've never seen a protester do.
Nope.
Disturbing an assembly, meeting, or procession, which there are not any. Using offensive, obscene, or abusive language, or engaging in noisy conduct tending reasonably to arouse alarm, anger, or resentment in others. That's unfortunate if Johnson County thinks that it is angering to them
alarming to them for us to say Black Lives Matter. Okay, so ingress or ingress. Ingress or egress. Unlawful assembly, remaining at a lawful assembly, riot, resisting arrest. If you are arrested for civil disobedience today, the most important thing that you can remember is what? Say his name. Say his name. Okay. Resisting arrest. Do not resist arrest. Do not resist arrest. That is the easiest way for you to get harmed out here. Make them carry you. I'm 182 pounds today, and I ate really good before I came out here. Okay? So we're not resisting arrest, but that doesn't mean that we have to help you either. Okay? From the 60s, you remember seeing the old videos where they were carrying people out. They have to carry all 182 pounds of you. All to hopefully have some people that are carrying them today for us. If you get arrested, very important, do not call out for help. Do not help someone to stop it. You get in the handcuffs and you let them hear. We will come get you. Do not cry out.
There's
for
a
help.
drum.
Do not call anyone's name. Only thing you should be saying if you get arrested are your first and last name and date of birth who are witnesses. And say his name. Say his name. Darrien. Hey. So, pedestrians on highways, I'm not going to y'all go by yourself. And criminal trespass on public property. They would have to declare trespassers. And let's read that. A criminal trespass on public property is entering or remaining upon any land, structure, vehicle, aircraft, including not limited to city, school district, county, by any person who should know that he is not authorized to
Well, the funny thing is,
Stay right there.
so, but on any land. And so, I don't understand how they would make that stick. But you know what? This is what happens. We're going to start the march to support until you have other instructions we are staying on the sidewalk. Okay, let's practice this color guard. Let's practice the color guard. Red. Okay. Yes. Blue. Wow, they've already come out to say what's up. We already know what's going on. Okay. Yellow. Go down. Okay, great. Thank you. Marshall, take it away. When do we want it? Now! If we don't get it, shut it down! 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 What do we want? Transparency! What do we want? Transparency! Okay, we're gonna try this again. When we say what do we want, these are our demands. We gotta make sure everybody hears us. What do we want? Transparency! What do we want? Transparency! That's enough. Okay, so the first time that we say it, we're going to say, what do we want? Transparency. What do we want? Accountability. What do we want? What do we want? Transparency. What do we want? Transparency. What do we want? Transparency. What do we want? Accountability. When do we want it? Now. If we don't get it, shut it down. 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 What do we want? Transparency. IDs.
We want police 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 IDs.
Black Lives Matter.
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 What do we want?
Transparency.
What do we want?
Accountability.
What do we want?
Transparency.
What do we want?
Accountability.
What do we want?
Transparency.
What do we want?
Accountability.
When do we want it?
Now.
If we don't get it,
Shut it down.
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 whose street?
Our streets.
Whose street?
Our streets.
Whose street?
Our streets.
Whose street?
Our streets.
What do we want?
Accountability.
What do we want?
Transparency.
What do we want?
Transparency.
What do we want?
Transparency.
When do we want it?
Now.
If we don't get it,
Shut it down.
if we don't get it,
Shut it down.
we want police ID.
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 Black Lives Matter.
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 What do we want?
Transparency.
What do we want?
Accountability.
What do we want?
Transparency.
What do we want?
Accountability.
When do we want it?
Now.
If we don't get it,
Shut it down.
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 no justice,
No peace.
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 no justice.
No peace.
Black Lives Matter.
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 We want police ID.
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 No justice.
No peace.
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 I'm gonna see a song with you all. You might have heard it before. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. This is a song that we sing at jails. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. Justice, we who believe in justice cannot rest. We sing this song while we're waiting for Congress. We who believe in justice cannot rest until it comes. Justice, we who believe in justice cannot rest. We
saw you guys keeping count, but
Yes.
Can you tell me the official name of
This organization?
the one that, no, the one that you were
Liberty Lawyers Casey.
So I need to put Casey on the end of my phone.
Yeah.
I just want to get it.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Stacy is a solo practitioner. Stacy. So, yes. So,
Okay, you got the slow down sign. All right, very good, very good. Okay. We have the yellow sign, we have the yellow sign. Very good, very good.
Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
Y'all, Black Lives Matter!
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 that top right there.
Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter!
Okay, we're moving on to the sidewalk. Everyone on the sidewalk, we're moving into the sidewalk, onto the sidewalk. Okay, everyone onto the sidewalk. Okay. Everyone on the sidewalk. Good, now. Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Conspiracy! Now! Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down! Conspiracy! Now! Accountability! Now! Shut it down!
About how many people did you count?
Shut it down!
70.
Okay, that's about what I got. I just want to make sure that I didn't miss anything there.
A few more if you include media.
I rounded up to 75.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I just said. It's a nice, multiple of 25 is always good.
Black Lives Matter!
We want police ID!
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 We want police ID! No peace! No peace!
Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Now! Transparency! Now! Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down! Now! Transparency! Now! Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Ho ho! These racist cops have got to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! These racist cops have got to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! These racist cops have got to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! These racist cops have got to go! Hey hey! Ho ho!
Thank you. Peace and blessings to you.
Yellow flag, slow down. Slow down the front. Slow down the front. Okay, slow down the front. Slow down. Yellow flag, yellow flag.
Okay, we're gonna catch you guys up. There we go.
No peace! No peace! No peace!
I know he did, but I didn't know.
We want police ID! 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 What do we want? Transparency! What do we want it? Now! What do we want? Transparency! When do we want it? Now! If we don't get it, shut it down! 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 Right there? No peace!
Thank you.
Okay. It's very important. There are going to be marshals. We're going to be giving strict instructions. Keep moving, you guys. Keep moving. Keep moving. Okay, so we're going to catch everybody up. We're going to catch everybody up.
Don't pass this practice. Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Transparency! Now! Transparency! Now! Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Okay, we're in an interesting position because we have to walk on the sidewalk and then walk on the street and walk back on the sidewalk. This is a very specific type of protest. Now, in this neighborhood, a lot of people don't know that there are very important and influential people that live in this neighborhood. The neighbors, we need all of the neighbors of the Overland Park mayor to actually meet our demands. We want the mayor's neighbors to join in this protest because we have three very specific demands. We want police ID. 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 Okay. That's two of our demands. One of our demands is that we demand to know the identity of officers who unlawfully arrested 4 people on July 4th in Overland Park. The neighbors of the Overland Park mayor, we are asking for your assistance. That's why we are protesting in your neighborhood. We're not just protesting the mayor. We are protesting all of the neighbors who are complicit in the injustice right here in Overland Park. We want police ID. 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 We want the police ID. We want police ID. Their landlocked neighbors. He lives next to you. He's probably been to your house. right back around. 2, buddy system, okay? Because we're not blocking ingress or egress. Plenty of people can get by, and we're going to use the sidewalk while it's available. We want police ID. We want police ID. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. 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 We want police ID. We want police ID. We want police ID. We want police ID. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. 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 We want police ID. 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 Mayor Gerlach, come outside. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. We want police ID. We want police ID. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. We want police ID. We want police ID. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. We want police ID. We want police ID. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. We want police ID. We want police ID. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. We want police ID. We want police ID. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. We want police ID. We want police ID. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. We want police ID. We want police ID. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. We want police ID. We want police ID. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. We want police ID. We want police ID. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. We want police ID. We want police ID. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. We want police ID. We want police ID. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. We want police ID. We want police ID. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. We want police ID. We want police ID. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. Justice for Darrien. Justice for Darrien. Justice for Darrien. Justice for Darrien. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. We want police ID. We want police ID. We want police ID. We want police ID. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. Mayor Gerlach, we're here in your neighborhood. I know that you did not want to listen to us when we came and visited you and your friends at the city council meeting. So now we're coming to visit you and your neighbors. We want police ID. We want police ID. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. We want police ID. We want police ID. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. We want police ID. We want police ID. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. We want police ID. not going to get on their grass because we know that they do a good job with their lawn.
If you need water, please stop and hydrate yourself.
We got water here.
We got water right here, buddy.
Okay, it's very important. This is the discipline we talked about. We're going to only be on the sidewalk, not in anybody's lawn. We came here for Mayor Gerlach's neighbors. Maybe they can give him a call and let him know that we will be protesting until our demands are met. We want police ID.
We want police ID.
Mayor Gerlach, come outside.
Mayor Gerlach, come outside.
We want police ID.
We want police ID.
Mayor Gerlach, come outside.
Mayor Gerlach, come outside.
If any of the neighbors that can hear us, if you could give the mayor of Overland Park a phone call and let him know that we're out here because we came here for the entire neighborhood. So the entire neighborhood can join in this protest. Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
We're going to mobilize. Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Okay, so we're moving down just a little bit. Okay, we're moving down. Our color guard is at the front. And we're going to make sure that we don't
How about
block
if there's
any
a house
driveways.
that has invited us to their
Because we
property?
want people to get home and hear us. So they don't have to see it on the news. They can see it right from their city.
Sir, how about if there's a house that's invited us onto their property?
Sign up, guys.
Sign up.
Sign up down here.
We're just guests of their house, so is that allowed?
Sign up, guys.
You know, to not have to arrest folks. All right. So, with regards to our residential picketing ordinance, it's getting really close here.
But we're here for multiple houses. We're here for every single house on this block. We specifically said we want all of the neighbors to call Mayor Gerlach and tell him to come outside.
Well,
That
sure
is specifically
anybody within the
inclusive.
5-block area has probably heard that. And you probably got your message loud and clear. All right.
So why do we have to stop if we are not violating the law?
Well, I think picketing law,
And we
we have an ordinance against picketing in a neighborhood. So
I've read it.
I think that's an issue, all right? I'm telling you, you're getting real close. And unless you want me to have people begin to be arrested for it, then
But
I don't
you can't
want
arrest
to do
them if
that.
they're not violating the law.
Well, again, I'm telling you that
We
we're
have to-
really close on the residential
I'm sorry, did
picketing
you just
ordinance.
say that you can arrest them without violating the law?
No,
Yeah,
I think
that don't make no
we're real
sense.
close to getting to violating
It's
that
not in-
ordinance.
it's not in the law.
Okay.
But
Just wanted to get
we have,
clarified.
it's section 112856, I believe. 65.
That will be for the court to determine. I don't want to have to do it, so I'm just asking you to please move on. All right? Thank you.
Okay.
It's not in
So-
the brochure, but
If we, you know what, as long as we move from this neighborhood, everyone in a 5-block radius can hear us.
We do also have a house that's invited us onto their property.
Yeah, they did invite us onto their property.
So,
This is making me
just
nervous.
saying,
You know what?
if he wants to call the police to come arrest us, we can go all stand in her yard and they can't do shit. Okay.
she's invited.
Okay.
Now he was like,
What do you want to do?
Should I not have the live stream right here?
No. They're still going to declare it. They're still going to declare it.
Even though we have not violated any laws, we have a decision to make. And I'm an educator. Even though our legal counsel, we've had 3 lawyers look at this ordinance today, residential picketing is targeting a specific residence. We have specifically said on multiple occasions that we are not here for a specific residence. And the Overland Park Police Department has informed us, even though we are not breaking any laws, it would be up to the judge at Overland Park to decide if we are ultimately guilty. And this is why we cannot trust the police. So you will have an option, because right now, we are, where's my color guard? Where's my color guard? I need my color guard right here. Right here, right now, we are switching to tactical. Wave the white flag. We have two options when we switch to tactical. Wave the white flag so everybody can see it. Does everyone see the white flag? That means that we are no longer in regular protest. We have been threatened with arrest. So remember our training. If you have two options. We have been told we are not violating the law, but we could be arrested anyway. So we will have two options. If you want to continue your protest, if you stay here, you could be unlawfully arrested. If you are going to stay here, the official witnesses will start taking your names and date of birth so that we can start preparing bonds. Say his name. Darrien. What? When I say his name, I'm talking about a lawyer. Say his name. Say his name. Okay. So now that we're in tactical, we're going to take about 2 minutes. We're going to take 2 minutes and we're going to separate groups. Okay? So we're going to continue a march. We're going to continue either the march, or people are going to be continuing to march back to their cars, or they're going to continue marching and risk unlawful arrest. And this is a great example why this system does not work. That is a great example why we cannot reform it. Because we were just informed by an Overland Park police officer that is in charge. Even though you're not violating the law, even though licensed attorneys have analyzed the law, has said that it's very clear and plain language, you are picketing if you are targeting a single resident. And we've been talking to all of the mayor's neighbors. They are still saying what we're doing to get us arrested. This is a revolutionizing and radicalizing moment. This is what we talk about when we're talking about the injustice of the police system. Because the police system will tell you that even though you are doing nothing wrong, you can be locked up like an animal. You can be chained like a criminal. They will treat you like a criminal, so you have not violated the law. And so you remember tonight, whether you stay here, whether you leave, you remember what happened here tonight. So when we come back to Overland Park, when we come back to this neighborhood, you need to tell your friends what happened to you. You need to explain the injustice that happened to you tonight. It didn't happen to Darrien tonight. He was not here. It didn't happen to George Floyd tonight. He's already dead. It didn't happen to any of your friends that were not here. It happened to you. So we're going to take a few minutes to regroup. And everyone will have to make their own decision. So we're going to take 2 minutes, and we're going to allow the people that want to march back, who will have security with you, and we will have additional official witnesses that are going to be with the people here that may be unlawfully arrested tonight in Overland Park.
Okay, let's go. Where's leadership? Come on. All right. Okay, so what's our evacuation plan? Okay, so
I think our best move is to kind of,
let's go in and see what happens.
Okay, so we have those regrouped. The people that are staying, we are going to be protesting on The people that are wanting to march back, we're going to march back as a group. So we're going to be marching back, led by Miller Green. So people that are staying, leave now with your lawyer. Leave now with your lawyer over here. If you're going to march on private property, there is a risk of arrest. We've gone to tactical. If you are going to stay here and protest on private property, please go with your lawyer right now. If you are marching, if you are going back to the park, stay with us. If you're going back to the park, stay with us. I need Gloria with us. People that are staying here are going to the park. People are going to protest on private property. Okay, so I need one color guard to stay with me. Okay, I need one color guard. Somebody on color guard. We can be on color guard. Can you be on color guard?
All right, so right now, if you didn't hear that, there's really two options right now. Either people are going to march back to the park, or the people who are going to stay behind are going to go on a house over there where the residents of the home basically invited them to stay on their private property. Essentially, they're not. Overland Park Police Department is claiming that they are picketing, and therefore they're violating the law. But the loophole they're finding is the residents over there who are supporting the group saying, come over here, you're on private property, you're our guest. There you go.
They've invited us to our private property. Everybody that is going to the park is marching with us, okay? Now it's going to be important, really important for us to stay on the sidewalk. We are not going to chant because we're getting close. We're getting close to the noise ordinance. Okay, so now this is a good point. If you guys are, when we have green team, no, actually, I'm sorry, it's yellow team. Yellow team means that you have zero ability to get arrested. Yellow team is always going to be that team, okay? So when we say yellow team, that means this group, okay? There's no shame in that. People have to go home to their kids. But yeah, yellow team, so we're gonna call for yellow team. So what team has to be evacuated? Yellow. Okay, so people say we're gonna be looking for yellow team. That's what we are. So we're gonna regroup. We're not going to march back. We're going to march back. Okay, yeah. Yeah. You all stay on the property. There's not going to be any police interaction.
Alright, so we're going to stay on the property until they get back.
While we're speaking to these neighbors and understand our role in this movement and in tonight's resistance march. Monday we went into the city council meeting. Monday we went into the city council meeting. Sheila Alvarez was there, a resident of Overland Park, Kansas. Her son John Alvarez was killed by Overland Park Police Department. It took 2 years for her to find out, and I want you to hear me, and I want you to hear me very well. It took
Take your mask down.
2 years for her to find out that an Overland Park Police officer was paid over $70,000 to resign.
That ain't right.
That ain't right. Ma'am, you have an occupation, right? If you was to violate the policy on your job, what would happen? Get fired.
Get fired.
She would get fired. Overland Park Police Department felt the need to pay an officer after killing a teenager for driving 5 miles per hour out of his driveway. And then decided not to share this information with her mother. With his mother, I'm sorry. mother. What type of transparency is that?
None.
None. What type of accountability is that?
None.
We went in there on Monday to demand answers and to have a conversation with Mayor Gerlach and the city council members. What did we get?
Nothing.
Nothing. What do we want?
Transparency.
We want transparency. Because the things that are happening in the Overland Park Police Department is not right. The things that are happening are unjust. And we cannot stand for it. Somebody has to stand out for it. Somebody has to stand out for it. For the things that occurred on Friday, July 24th, it will continue to happen. What just occurred down the street with the Overland Park police officer down there, it'll continue to happen. If we don't demand transparency in this department, if we don't take the power, if we don't realize the power that we have, we will continue to fall short. So I encourage you all to know your role in this movement, know why you're here, and continue to fight and stand for what is right. What do we want?
Transparency.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Transparency.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Transparency.
When do we want it?
Now.
I have an issue with what happened on Monday. I have an issue with what happened on July 24th. I have an issue that it's been a month later and I still don't know who did it. Darrien's story isn't unique. You can work your whole entire life as a black man doing everything right and still be guilty. That ain't right.
That ain't right.
That ain't right.
That ain't right.
You could be a loving husband and still get treated like an animal. And that ain't right.
That ain't right.
And even if he did something, he still deserves the proper procedure. He still deserves right to a fair trial.
Right.
He still deserves to be treated like every single last one of us.
That's right.
Like a decent citizen.
Yes. Like a decent citizen. And I'm outraged at Overland Park Police Department, not only over Darrien, not only over John Hours, but the fact that it keeps happening again and again and again.
Say it. That ain't right.
That ain't right.
That ain't right.
That ain't right.
So let me tell you something about civil disobedience. Civil disobedience is what radicalized a lot of people in the movement. When we are civil and the cameras catch them acting up, there's eyes on those cameras being radicalized.
Right.
When they go and handcuff 15-year-olds and 6-year-olds that are doing nothing, that radicalizes people. So what you are doing right now is going to radicalize people.
Yes.
Even if you didn't get arrested tonight, even if we went home and we still got to say hi, say goodnight to our parents, say goodnight to our significant others, you would still be a part of that radicalization because you decided enough was enough.
Right.
Yes.
You decided that for yourself. Your friend might have left, but you decided. So thanks for joining the revolution.
Yeah.
Anybody else? You got to march again?
No. Stacy said stay here till they get there.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to say, I am the mother of children Darrien protected, and although I didn't know them
so any man that would do that is good in my book. And as the wife of a black man, and I've been married for over 12 years, mother of 6, you can see obviously why I'm out here for my kids. They shouldn't have to live in a world like this. They shouldn't have to be told that we can't stand in the street when we just saw little boys riding their bikes in the street. We shouldn't be told that we're not welcome in a certain place. Everybody should feel welcome. And I get emotional every time I think about that night because my children were in danger, and not by any other protesters. They were in danger before the police. And even though it was only 2 out of my 6 kids, the rage and the radicalization that built up in me at that very moment, I was like, I'm done. We're done. Playing the games with the police. We're done. We're going to stand up for our children. And we're going to make sure that they don't have to deal with this anymore. Because I'm tired of seeing them on the news. I'm tired.
Again, while there's a chance for quiet now, I'm going to fill you guys in again on what's happening here. We're waiting for the rest of the protesters on the plane to come back from taking the march along to the safety. And like I said, I'm going to follow that. If you guys come
Just to recap real quick, half the group went back to the park, and another half of the group is here at a house where the homeowners have invited them to on their private property.
We're just gonna do a couple of chants real quick. What do we want? Justice! What do we want? Now! What do we want? Justice! What do we want? Now! If we don't get it, shut it down! 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 I just had a few quick words that I wanted to say. Because I've been thinking a lot recently. I was at Darrien jail support, and I think a lot about the sacrifice that it takes to be out here on these streets. And what we've seen this summer, and the awakening and consciousness that we have seen this summer, I think it's a transformational period for our country and for the world right now. And Darrien is a real microcosm. Darrien is a freedom fighter. I need y'all to say, Darrien is a freedom fighter. 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 Say, I am a freedom fighter. 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 It's important that we really put our actions and our words into action. And so when we say that Darrien was a freedom fighter and is a freedom fighter, and when we say that we are freedom fighters, we have to understand the weight of our words. It means we have to be willing to make a sacrifice. And so I think it's really dope when I look out and see all these people out here right now. I think it's really dope to see all these people. We had a decision, we could go back, but y'all are still here right now. And that says a lot. That says a lot about the sacrifice that you're willing to make. And I actually hope that the police come out here tonight, because I'm not afraid of the police. I'm not afraid of the police. Are y'all afraid of the police? No! Are y'all afraid of the police? No! If they come out here, all we're going to do is make sure we pay attention to the directions that are given, and we're going to move like a unit. You saw Stacy, she's like a military general right now. I'm serious.
Alright, so that car you see over there that's pulling out, that's actually the police officer. So the police officer is moving out as far as we can tell.
Pay attention to the directions that are given, because that's the only way that the police can ever get us. If you've been to the protest at the plaza, if you've been to any of the protests, the only time the police get people is when they come out by themselves. And so the last thing I want to say is that this is a battle for the soul of the country, for the soul of the city. We're trying to defeat white supremacy and all its permeations and tentacles, which we see as the police department. We want to abolish the police. I'm going to say that one more time. I don't think everybody heard me. We want to abolish the police. Not just defund. Not just defund. We want to abolish the police. And so, a lot of people have questions. I'm just going to give some ideology real quick, because a lot of people have questions. They have questions. They say, if we abolish the police, what does that mean? What are we going to do if we abolish the police? How are we going to solve conflicts? Who are you going to call if your house gets robbed? If you get punched in the face? And so we talk about transformative justice. We talk about transformative justice a lot. And that means that we have to find other ways of solving problems than a racist, violent institution that we call policing. And that's what happened to Darrien. And that's what we're fighting for today, is not only for Darrien, but Darrien represents and symbolizes something much bigger than himself. And so I just hope that y'all understand that Darrien represents and is a symbol for something much bigger. He was an embodiment of the revolution, an embodiment of the resistance. And that's what everyone out here is tonight. Everyone is a part of this resistance. And like many of the speakers have said today, this is a revolutionary moment that we're living in. This is a historical moment that's going to go down in the history books. We're writing history as we speak. And I just want y'all to understand the weight of this moment, because we are the ancestors of tomorrow. Our kids are going to look back and say, what did we do? What were you doing? What did I do? And I just hope that y'all are willing to make that sacrifice. John Lewis, who recently died, got arrested 42 times in his life. 42 times. He put his body on the line. His head got bashed in. He got sprayed with fire hoses. Dogs biting him. He put his body on the line. He was not afraid to die. He suffered a concussion. He was hit in the head with a baton. Went to the hospital. Then went to jail. And the next day was back on the street again. That's the type of revolutionary fervor, passion, fearlessness, good trouble. You know what I'm saying? That's what we need. That's what the people need. That's the only way that this revolution is going to be successful. Dr. Cornel West, I speak a lot about Dr. Cornel West. And he says you need people who are not only willing to live for the movement, but to die for it. That's the only way you can have a revolutionary movement. Now, everybody's not going to be willing to, really go that far. That's cool, but we need people. Otherwise, all you have is a hashtag moment. You have a black box on Instagram. And so we got to do a lot more than just talk, but clearly y'all know that. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who's out here. Keep doing what y'all doing, because, I really appreciate Miller Dream and all the work that they've been doing. And we, as a city, really need this type of work to be done. And so I just want to show my appreciation once again for the black women who are leading this. Because if you actually notice, there's not that many cis black men out here tonight. There's not that many cis black men out here tonight. And we know that the revolution is always led by black women. So I just think it's important that we highlight that. I know I said this a couple times, but the very last thing I want to say is just about transformative justice. I think transformative justice is really important because a lot of organizations, including my own organization, Black Rainbow, a lot of organizations are going to go through ups and downs. They're going to have conflicts. But we can't put the vision for the world that we want to see into the world if we can't even handle it inside of our own organization. And so we have to really embody what it is we want to see in the world. So this is not just a moment. A lot of organizations are going to persist. And I'm excited to see what the people do. So when I say Ashe, I need you to say power. Ashe! Power! 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 Appreciate y'all. Oh. Apparently they want to make a distinction. They want to call the police the pigs. So when I say fuck, I need y'all to say pigs. Fuck! Pigs! Fuck! Pigs! We're going to keep it just a little PG because we're in a neighborhood. Oh yeah, there's some kids too, so. Our apologies. But I mean, we do want to make it very clear. That's what she just came up to tell me. She said, it's important that we make this distinction that the police cannot be reformed. The police has been an institution that existed since the 1880s. I don't know if people know the history of the police department and the police system and the system of policing. It originated in Europe and it was transferred to the United States in the 1880s. Its purpose was never to rehabilitate people. Its purpose was never to keep poor people, black people, brown people safe. When the policing institution was created, there was no spike in violence in the United States. What they wanted was to protect their property from the freed slaves. And that's exactly what we see today. We see property being protected. We see police being protected. But when Darrien is assaulted, we don't get any justice. We don't get any justice when a black man is assaulted. And they still won't bring charges to the police officers. They won't even tell us who did it. And so that makes you have to look at who are the police really protecting. Because I know for a fact it's not you and it's not me. That's all I want to say. We have to make a distinction, man. I appreciate it. And shout out to my man X too from Black Rainbow. He's not here. Shout out to X. He would give a speech called The Ballad of the Bullet. The Ballad of the Bullet. Because this is the year of the Ballad or the Bullet. This is the year of the ballot or the bullet, and a lot of people say, some people are going to not vote out of a resistance. I'm going to vote personally. I think everybody should vote. But we also have to understand that voting isn't the only way we can express our political power. What we're doing right now is just as important as voting. It's just as important as voting. So I advocate for voting. I hope everybody votes. But we also
can't be pigeonholed into thinking that that's the only way we can express our political power. What we're doing right now is extremely important, so don't let anybody tell you differently. Appreciate it.
Hello, I'm KJ with Black Rainbow. So yeah, I think this is a great moment to do political education on transformative justice, because a lot of people, including myself, up until like a few weeks ago, I didn't know that it existed. So without triggering anyone, I'll just say transformative justice is essentially a justice model where we seek to rehabilitate people back into society. So say that you are robbing houses because you need basic necessities, just because we all know that crime happens out of need and proximity. So when people say black on black crime, we all know that's not real, because people don't commit crimes against other black people just because they're like, oh, you're black, I'm just going to rob you because you're black. That makes it invalid. They rob the people who are nearest to them. They can't come out to Overland Park, and I'm not threatening anyone, but it's not feasible for people of color to come out here and take things. So they take what they need the most from those who are closest to them. So the transformative justice model seeks to rehabilitate these people and integrate them back into society and forgive. Our country has always had a pitchfork and blame mentality when it comes to people who they deem criminals or guilty of crime. There's no real justice. There's no real justice for anyone at the end of the day. Someone sitting in a cell thinking about robbing a bank for 60 years, that's not justice. What do you gain from that? You don't get anything from that. Nothing happens from that. So transformative justice seeks to treat people like people, because we are all people at the end of the day. Again, we're out here for black lives, but I just think about people. Like, I love black people, I love being black, and I'm not a criminal. I'm not trying to start that rhetoric, but we're all people. We all have to go back to our best. So one thing that I would encourage everyone to do is really learn and study the transformative justice model. I grew up in Savannah, Georgia, which is similar in demographics to Kansas City, as far as like the population and everything. And to me, it was up until like a few weeks ago, there was no justice. It was, you're on one side of the fence and I'm on another, and we're going to rock it out on both sides. And it was no real ever anyone coming together and trying to figure out, why are 14-year-old men shooting each other? Like, why are 14-year-old boys shooting each other? Like, I've lost lots of classmates. I lost a classmate earlier this year in May, just on a random Tuesday. It was just ridiculous. So transformative justice seeks to mediate and also rehabilitate, because we have a lot of hurt people. And even now, we're out here, we're traumatizing ourselves even more, in the good name of justice, but we're constantly subjecting ourselves to trauma. So it's important for us to, take a moment, our white allies a lot, or accomplices, y'all put yourselves on the line a lot. And we appreciate it, and we honor that, and we do even more, but, we see what y'all are doing. So it's important for us to take care of ourselves as people. Just in Black Rainbow, we kind of have like a self-care week, where we didn't communicate much, bare minimum communication. But, that's needed sometimes. Sometimes people need a break. This is exhaustive. This is an exhausting lifestyle. But again, we're on the right side of history, and, 60 years from now, we're going to be in the history books the same way that Rosa Parks and Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr. and everyone else, because we're right. We're right. It's not about who's in the history books. It's about who is in those stories, who came out and marched. And on September 4th, there will be a march on K Street at 3 o'clock, and it's on Facebook. It's sponsored by the NAACP, SCLC, Urban League, Black Rainbow, and a slew of other organizations. And we're encouraging everyone to come out and support that, because it's sad that the same march happened 60 years ago. Like, when you just do the math, like John Lewis, he was 19 when he first got arrested. I am 19 now, and he was still fighting for the same thing when he just passed away. So we really gotta get focused. Like, we really gotta, look at things holistically. Because this is a movement. This is not a moment. Everyone loves the black robbed. Everyone loved hashtag Black Lives Matter. And then where are they at now? You know, it was thousands of people at the plaza. Thousands. I've never seen that many people in my life in one place. In the middle of a global pandemic. And they're willing to come out and smile in front of smashed buildings and hashtag things and post it on their TikTok. And where are they at now? When we truly need people. When we're being harassed by a cop in a car who's hell-bent on arresting people for peacefully protesting. Where are they at? So history will tell who is true and who is a fluke. It's really that serious. So I thank y'all all for being out here. Because I would rather be watching me some pros on Netflix and me some popcorn. But you know, when we live in an unjust world, these are the sacrifices we must make. So thank y'all. If you didn't get a group number, please come to me now. If you did not get a group number, please come to me now. If you,
If you need me to get your bill information, come over here. Bill information here.
who else did not get a group? Okay, there's nobody else that needs a group. Everybody knows their group number. You don't have a group number. Okay, cool.
I don't know if you sometimes you bless the people that put the gift there. They had in their house.
Before we depart, it's really, this is important. This is important. Because we're modeling. This is important. Eyes, right here. Eyes. This is important. Because so many people think that they only can resist by marching in the streets. Okay? These neighbors resist by allowing us on the top. Okay? Someone told me, I told you all I was at a happy hour, where I was talking to the boys at a happy hour. And this message, I just say to you. Okay? They said, Stacy, we hear you say that you're willing to risk it all. But why would you have to? And I told them, because I was radicalized when I saw a young man who did nothing but yell at a police officer be maced in his face until he fell down. The officer kept macing him even as his friends were dragging him away. And I ran in front of the officer and blocked the mace with my body. And that was the first time that I saw police brutality in person. And then they said, well, you know what? You still could have just been a lawyer. And I said, well, here is the problem with that. I woke up one day and I realized that I was born into an oppressed race. And the black women said, no, oppression is just in your mind. That you can set up things where you don't personally have to be oppressed. And I said, you're right, because for 10 years, I did not go to court. Platte County is very racist. I would send my white associates out there. The only people that I interacted with as a lawyer were either my equals or my subordinates. And so I never had to endure the racism that comes with corporate America. I lived in black communities or in liberal white communities. Me and my neighbors love each other. People respect my privilege as a lawyer. I'm able to afford lawyers. And so I have a lot of insulation from the regular, everyday person's oppression. And it's not just because somebody is black, because I have white lawyers that have been victimized by the police. And so I said, no, it's not enough. Because when I got arrested, those police, even though they saw me marching protesters back to the sidewalk, I have been a mediator. I have been a peacekeeper for 2 nights. I was working with officers because they had not brought any mediators. They had not brought any de-escalation specialists to any of the protests, so I was doing their job for them. Even though I had the privilege, the socioeconomic privilege, even though I had the privilege of being a lawyer, even though I had the privilege of only working with people and working for people that I liked, they treated me like a common nigga. That ain't right. And the reason why I'm saying this, I'm not saying this to the entire group. I'm saying it to the people that put it on the line and risked something tonight. And there's nothing wrong if you're not in the position to risk something, but at what are you going to risk? And they said, you know what, Stacey? When you say that you're radical and this radicalized you, that sounds like you're saying reckless. And what I didn't tell them were that there were people that didn't grow old because they were in the civil rights movement. There were people that got arrested tens of times, over 100 times. They got their heads beat in. They got disbarred. They put it all on the line because they knew that what they were doing was more important than whatever they were risking. And I can't just say, I can't stand in front of you that are having the same risk that I am, that are risking losing their jobs, losing their house, losing their cars, losing their money, losing their liberty, going to jail for years, possibly getting hit in the head with a rubber bullet because an officer is on a power trip. That's what we're all out here risking. And so when I asked the women, I said, well, you know what? This is something that I'm willing to risk it all for. My power doesn't come from being a lawyer. I haven't used my law license one time in this movement. I haven't been to court. I just go to jail actions and they don't let me see my clients anyway, so it doesn't even matter. And I said, what are you willing to put it all on the line for? Will you put it all on the line for your kids? Well, I don't know if I could get arrested. I might have to chill that out. Well, would you put it all on the line for God? Oh, I don't know if I could. Oh, I don't know. I go to church on Sunday and I tithe. We are a very small minority in America because most people won't risk their comfort. They won't risk anything big. They might give a couple of dollars. They might lack something. They might share a post on Facebook, but they're not the same as us. We are not the same as those people. Because when we say that something's important to us, we show up. And even when the police are saying that they're going to arrest us, that they're going to put us in a cage, that we may die in that cage, we may be abused in that cage, we may lose our jobs because we're in that cage. We're saying that we are going to show you better than we can tell you.
There you go.
Right. That is the difference between us and them. And there's going to come a time, the time has already come, but there's going to come a time, we're training you for a reason. Because there's going to come a time when we have to put it on the line. We have to say, you know what, Mayor Gerlach, you're not listening to us. We went to your city council meeting. We asked to speak and you denied us. Then we had to go to your neighborhood and you still didn't listen. Now we have to go sit on your desk. And we ain't leaving.
Right.
Until they carry our 182 pounds out.
Right.
And so today you prove something to yourselves. You prove something to yourselves. Every time you show up, you are proving your commitment to yourself. You don't owe it to anybody else to prove your commitment. You don't owe it to me to prove your commitment. This is the commitment that you made to yourself. Right. This is the commitment that you said that you were taking when you said you were not going to be oppressed. You were not going to allow your family, your friends, your community to be oppressed. Not one damn second longer.
Right. Right.
And this is what that looks like. Right here, right now, right here, right now. It looks like that with parents taking a risk with their kids sitting on the line. They didn't know what people were going to do. They didn't know what repercussions were going to happen. They didn't know if the mayor of their city was going to target them because they took a risk. That, right now, they didn't ask permission from us. They didn't have to wait until an organization said, oh, it's okay for you to risk this. It's okay for you to be an ally. It's okay for you to say Black Lives Matter. They said, no, I saw something and I'm going to do something about it. I don't have to wait for anybody to tell me that this is what I need to do.
Right.
And so we're going to be saying, I told you all about political education. Because in our revolutionary minds, in our radicalized minds, we can be radical but uneducated. And in our ignorance, we may build the same thing that we are fighting to dismantle. And so it is so important, and this is important, that in our ignorance, as allies, with our access to power, to money, to resources, in our ignorance, we may build the very thing we have been fighting to dismantle.
Right.
And so when people say we need you to read this book, we need you to be educated, we need you to read White Fragility, we need you to do this training, we need you to understand what you're really fighting for, because we don't want you to weaponize your privilege and end up building a stronger white supremacy system.
Right.
And so that is going to be the challenge. Tomorrow, we are going to meet at 75th and Warnell in Waldo. This is a unique opportunity because that's something that we've never done before. Okay, we're searching for places that we've never been so that we can grow our numbers. This is a big number of people that are willing to go to jail in Johnson County. Okay, this is huge, all right? So we need people at 75th and Warnell because when you all show up, you give other people courage. So when you show up, it shows them that something is possible. It shows them that they can be revolutionaries, that they have the ability to change the world, that they have the ability to be activists. But if you don't show up, if they don't see your face, they won't know it's possible. So we need everybody to be there. 75th and Warnell, 5:30. 5:30 and bring a friend, okay? Who can be there at 75th and Warnell tomorrow at 5:30? Who can be there? Who can commit to that? Who can commit to that? Who can commit to that? Who can be there? Who can be there? Who can show up? Now keep your hands up, keep your hands up. If you can commit to bringing a friend.
Who can put somebody in their car? Oh, you've done it today. Oh, everybody's put somebody in their car. Okay, that's good. All right. And so, okay. And so we have, thank you, whoever has the full water. That's good. Okay. And so, hold on. Do we have the feedback plan? We have
They asked for raises.
So we're going to go back. We're getting the plan together to go back, because when we get arrested for the purpose that we want to get arrested for. But we don't want to get arrested for walking on the sidewalk. That doesn't even make sense. Okay, so everybody masks on. We have groups, and we're going to evacuate people in groups. Okay. Yeah, well, that works. We're not camping. I mean, they can. I know, but we're not. But we want the optics to be everybody going live. We need the optics. Sidewalk. Sidewalk, no okay, so no chanting. And so here is another piece of our protest. Eyes, eyes, eyes. Eyes, eyes, eyes. Okay, this is the discipline. We are not going to chant because we have already completed our protest. And we want to be able to go to the Waldo tomorrow. Okay, so we're only going to go, we're going to have a silent protest back to the park. All on sidewalks, no one on streets, and we're going to be moving quickly. Not running, but we're going to be moving very quickly. Very quickly. Okay, so we're going to get in twos. Let's get in twos on the sidewalk. We're going to prepare to mobilize very quickly. Who has been going
Make sure you take all your trash with you, please.
Take all the trash, no litter, no litter.
Again, the protesters were able to stay here for an extra 30 minutes or so because, and probably only because, the people who own this house right there more or less invited them as their guests to stay on their property. Without those people inviting the protest over as guests, there's a probability that that the Overland Park Police Department would have arrested some people, but by having them as guests, I mean, they're kind of untouchable at that point. So that's a huge display of solidarity right there, in my opinion. At any rate, if you didn't hear what Stacy Shaw said, we are now walking back to the park silently and on the sidewalk because they have no intention on getting arrested tonight because of the protest tomorrow. So let's go back.
Alright guys, so it looks like again they're heading back to the parking lot.
Can we get another person to go live?
Where you going?
Do you want me to pick my light up? Okay, yeah. No, that's, yeah. It's more about the after we see in the moment than it is about the But Overland Park is very low.
I'm not used to it.
Exactly. Well, you got there but couldn't get it out. What?
Your live examine, is it?
No. Maybe Twitch is better for that.
I was waiting for this letter and I got
Watch your step. Watch your step. Watch your step. Thank you. Watch your step. Like, step. I automatically.
They say hug Shahar from MDLC.
Sorry, I was talking to him. So yeah, you wanna go? I can figure it out. I actually was they turn into ice. Like it starts sliding. And then you're in the street, so you get arrested for
It's a form of what we know as
No. I've been here for like a week. I've been campus like this.
So we can get out of this neighborhood.
Watch your stop, watch your stop, watch your stop. Stop at the stop sign. Right.
are right now in Overland Park, which is a suburb of Kansas City, where we go coasting. It's kind of like Aurora, Colorado to Denver, Colorado. It's like very similar to that situation. And funny story is, while they're trying to figure out. Well, it's not the correct Kansas City.
Right, yeah.
It's Kansas City. It's not the correct Kansas City. Period. But there's
I know you can't produce your own seeds without affecting.
we're in Overland Park right now, which is south of Kansas City, Kansas, and west of Kansas City, Missouri. Yeah, so you can get arrested. They said you can get arrested in two stages. I've been licensed on the state line and possibly safety, no number of dollars.
Sorry.
We're only reaching not the one I work at now. It's a private library, but public library. So public library, like more funding than private library. They pay like minimum $12 an hour. Yeah, the one that I applied to.
If that's a rescue, nobody got arrested. This is the most polite well-being protest
Why won't we hear it? People, believe so strongly that they are willing to now most people enjoy coming to the those look like a reanimated sack of shit.
There's so much pain, so much. Busy, smart, and very good. We're like, we're just like
It's just so crazy how much the other people constantly about money and printing clout. Exactly. Two then. Oh yeah.
And don't knock yourself in the comments.
So, I mean, you know, with the Asians,
You know I'll do it. Also remember that it is our duty to fight for our freedom. It's our duty to love one another and support one another.
Your head is like weird because your top of your head is like super sensitive to touch.
Oh wow!
Like when you lay on your pillow, it's just like crazy. But like the breeze comes just super desensitized. Yeah.
I didn't burn all of them.
You still look rough at the tree.
Are you pressed?
I am, yes.
Who are you with?
When I come to these things, I'm just independent, but I do freelancing for a lot of people locally. Yeah, you probably might only know the Raymore Journal, but
If you want to grab our live stream, this is our official Kansas City Twitch.
Okay.
It's KC_protests with an S at the end.
with the S at the end. Okay, yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Curious, why Twitch? Security or just?
It's safer. Yeah,
safer?
it's more secure.
Okay.
I used to always go on Facebook Live, but when we made the decision to make an official one, we wanted to go with Twitch.
I was asked because I used to go live with the GoPro here, but it was just the glitchiest thing ever. It's not even worth it.
On Twitch?
No.
Oh,
Facebook.
gotcha.
So I was wondering
yeah.
if it was a quality thing or more of a security thing.
I've always done pretty good on. I've always done pretty good on Facebook. Like I've never had
I
problems.
do straight from the phone. So with a GoPro, you have to use like your hotspot, and so I think that's where the real problem is, having that middleman screws everything up.
So I know y'all are missing it, but she's just talking about our next protest tomorrow at something called the Mortal on Kansas City.
Overland Park, we're not gonna stand for it. We're not gonna continue to stand for it. And I said this in the live feed, we've been asking for conversations for far too many years. For us to continue to be in the exact same position that we have been for many, many years. And it's time for change. And I just want Overland Park Police Department, Mayor Gerlach, Kansas Governor, all the elected officials, your time is about up. Your time is about up. And I want you to know that you can't stop the revolution. You can't stop the revolution. And just a reminder, the Miller Dream posted this event on tonight, so if you don't mind,
to continue to get information. Follow the Miller Dream LLC on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We also have Black Rose here. I'm sorry, I mix the two up all the time. I mean, it just sounds so good. We have Black Rainbow. Black Rainbow here with us on tonight. Phenomenal job. Awesome messages, powerful messages. Continue to follow them. Also, we have White Rose. Social media. All the information that you need to know in regards to what's happening in the movement, where we'll be, where you can help. You can follow any of these pages, of course, Stacey Shaw. Look for us. And KCProtest.org. KCProtest.com. So check out the website for other information. Again, appreciate you guys for coming out, sticking it out with us, understanding what this movement is about, what this rally was about, understanding our demands, understanding your role in it. Thank you. That's all we have for tonight. Thank you.
Are we doing the 5 minutes?
So this is our last drill. Okay? This is our last drill, our last thing that I'm going to teach you guys. Okay, last thing I'm going to teach you guys, and this is important. We are going to disperse in a time limit. We didn't do it that well last week, so, okay. Here's what we're going to do. Everybody already has groups of how many? At least 3? Everybody has groups of 3 that they're going to their car with. Okay, we are going to have a timed, safe, controlled, but speedy dispersal. Okay, we're training because in case we have to evacuate, we may only have so many minutes to evacuate. And we are only going to perform to the most basic of our training. So it's so important that we practice evacuating quickly. Do not get hit by a car. Okay? Does everybody have groups of 3? Okay, I'm going to give you guys 30 seconds to get to your groups of 3. 30 seconds. I want to walk you to your car. Where's your car at? Wait, Mom. You have okay. Yeah, you 3 okay. No, that's all fine. Happy birthday to you guys. Okay, time has started. 5 minutes to disperse. Safely, quickly. We have 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes.
Stick around for the 5-minute drill, maybe a little bit longer after that. The last time I covered the protest, which is just last weekend on 39th Street, I turned the camera off before this 5-minute drill you're seeing right now, and that's when they kind of went after the KCTV5 camera guy. When I say went after, I mean they, blocked his camera. Whole backstory to that, but if you want to see that, just go back to my timeline, look for that video, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Just look in the comments. I gave some background as to why they are currently I guess you could say, boycotting KCTV5. Well, hell, I guess I can tell you right now. So that protest, actually, I think it's so this protest, this rally right now is about a guy who got arrested a couple weeks ago. And I think the reason why they're boycotting KCTV5 is because when that news channel covered the arrest, rather than use the picture that the protest organizers supply them, they used a mugshot. So they used a mugshot instead of a picture that the organizers gave them, and they take exception to that. They think they did it maliciously, and they have demanded an apology from KCTV5, which they have yet to receive. And so until they receive that apology, they are they're basically going to boycott their coverage at these protests. Usually it comes in a form of blocking their cameras, so on and so forth. So anyway, they're not here today. Everyone's leaving. So that's the, you know, another protest. This one in Overland Park. It went to the neighborhood of the mayor. There it is. So I'll see you guys next time.